SpeedGaming 2 and Final Fantasy fans. Today we're going to have a game finale. This could be potentially the final game, depending on the outcome of the game. It'll be between Deadpulse and Pickles and Beer. The game will start here in a couple minutes. Until then, I'm joined in the booth by Bert. How you doing this morning, Bert?
That's good. Nice and early one today, which is nice. I'm kind of a morning guy.
Are you? Alright, I'm a night guy, so if I doze off, just poke me, wake me up this morning. However, wherever you are in the world, it should be a fun race to watch. Looks like we can see our party up there. The fighter and red mage, black mage looks like we do have some difference there. On Pickle's side, we see a black belt. You see any potential there between fighter black belt today, Bert?
Well, this is the question that has plagued everyone who's ever played any Final Fantasy Randomizer. What's better, fighter or black belt? And in this flag set, when I was designing it, I was trying to find the perfect balance between fighter and black belt, but I really think that fighter is a better choice on average in this flag set.
It'll definitely be fun to watch. Have some incentive items that were picked today. So Pickles and Beer picked the black shirt, and Deadpulse said he wanted to pick Thor's hammer, but he went to white shirt. I think that might have been a callback to an earlier game you did.
I've been running most of these races, and I believe that Thor hammer is the most common pick among all the racers, and we're off here.
Alright, so we should see item shop checks, magic shop checks. What do we have this morning? Nothing in white magic that I saw. Black magic got a sweeper Bane. It's not the sweeper that I'd like to see, but maybe we'll see some use out of that this morning.
Yeah, it's not the most generally useful, but I mean, you can kill maybe a third of the creatures in the game with Bane if you feel lucky. I'm
never that lucky. Yeah, it feels like less than that. I know it's a third, but still. I don't know. Let's see if we have a hero run this morning. They're making their way up to Temple Fiends. I imagine we'll see both chest checks. I think most runners have been checking both.
Yeah, and that's a decent run-off power cycle to make it all the way to Temple of Fiends without an encounter. That's usually what the runners want to see. It actually might be worse for the black belt though, because it'll make desert grinding harder later in the game if that's what you choose to do.
So we do see both chest checks. Looks like just some gold and silver shields. So nothing game-changing. No Masas early on this morning.
Yeah, probably enough money to buy your level 2 spells, but you're hoping for more at the beginning here. And wow, easy Banes. See that? That was your 1/3 chance.
So we got it on, we got an adamant from the king, and what does Sarah have for us? Canal. So we have nothing at the moment, because we don't have ship or canoe, but I imagine we'll be seeing one of those pretty quickly.
Okay, if you were Chanigan here, you'd go turn in the adamant, because you're feeling lucky, but I bet both players are going to go to Provoca. And I actually like seeing early canal, because it gives you more outs to get an early rod seed instead of an early canoe seed. This flag set likes to give off a lot of early canoe seeds, which can lead to a lot of trouble in Ice Cave and Volcano.
Now, is it possible to get an early floater and just skip all that, or is it
yes, it's possible in this flag set, but it doesn't come up very often.
I know all the races that I've watched, it's always been behind canoe and ship. And usually canal, too. So we got our Deadpulse headed in, check level 2 white magic. Let's see what we have there. We do have Invis at slot. Was that slot 2? I forget. I don't remember the slot, which one's learnable. Is that fighter learnable? Or night learnable?
There was Ruse and Invis 2 in level 2, so that's very good for the fighter if he turns into a knight later.
And we see Warp on the black magic side, so...
Warp and Quake. So, we only have 2 sweepers right now, Bane and Quake, but if you combine those 2 together, you can basically kill anything in the game if you're lucky.
And we do see a Bane coming out on the Pirates. I think most of those will go down to Bane. Looks like might get a full sweep there. Yeah, we did see a full sweep.
That's good. It's something like 97% for a Bane to hit on a Pirate.
I was gonna say, is it a 3 and 256 on it missing them? But
I think it's close.
So it'd be very unlucky to see it. So we see the canoe, French vanilla boat.
We do have our early canoe seed. This flag set loves the early canoe. Just because there's so many incentives, it opens up.
Now, do you walk over to Marsh, or do you make a cheeky volcano armory play or ice play?
So if I was playing this, I'm pretty what would you say? I'm pretty timid when it comes to doing dungeons. I'm not going to go to volcano or ice at this point. I'm going to do the dungeons in difficulty order. So I'm walking all the way over to Marsh. It also lets us turn in our adamant, which, I mean, if it's floater, the game really opens up here. That'd be perfect for a final, I think. An early floater seed, get these players out of here in 38 minutes.
Yep, and if you are a person that wants to see a game 3, you should be on Deadpulse's corner. If you're looking to be an over and out, then Pickles and Beer took game 1. So be interested to see if we see a game 2 or not today. Do Wolves have anything this morning? Didn't see like anything came out from them, so he did run away too.
Look at this. Deadpulse going the safe route. Pickles and Beer, he has early warp. He's going straight to Ice Cave.
Wow, so what do we see? We got bottle turn-in, so nothing that we're going to be checking anytime soon from the dwarf. He did get a big chest of gold out of there, so he's not worried about gold. And then, of course, with well, even without the canal, he could have walked across with the flags that we have set up today, but he's gonna, looks like, walk straight down to Marsh.
In this flag set, at this point of the race, the only thing you're looking for is floater, right? You can skip everything else. All you care is the floater and things that go to the floater, and we know the bottle can't lead to the floater, so that's a dud.
Correct, yeah. Can't have a floater behind something that's floater locked. And if it happens, then we'll be questioning someone.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. We got a bit of a run off the hard reset. Like, he might have 2 or 3 fights on the way down to the ice incentive here. If he can skip all the really tough encounters, this should be very easy.
Yeah, that ice cave play could turn out well, or progression could be in Marsh. So I like the divergence. Makes for an interesting watch for everyone in chat over there this morning. Also makes for an interesting commentary when you got 2 things to look at. If we missed something, chat, feel free to point it out, or our tracker this morning. I want to thank again our tracker Wildham for tracking for us. We just get to do the easy job and talk, and he has to keep track of everything and keep us alive.
And Deadpulse finding the ruby in Marsh, which is a great thing to find. It opens up 2 incentive locations. The problem is, without the ship, we can't turn it in. So, for now, a dud.
If you saw the ship there, you kind of think, well, at least I probably had to come here. Ruby, you're at least thinking, well, 2 more locations, and I believe the way the Titan's positioned, you can't check the Titan's Trove without the Ruby. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Even if you had the floater, you'd still need the Ruby to get the incentive. And so Pickles and Beer spending some time in Ice Cave looking at the trap tiles for a black belt grind.
Want to see probably that eye, an easy eye for him. I don't think the black belt really has any killing potential at the moment.
And wow, Deadpulse in Elf Town finding no sweepers at level 3 either. We don't have a single damage sweeper yet.
Yeah, it's the other thing we're looking at. So maybe we'll see a nuke stick or something pop up, but you never know. Get that easy black belt grind going. Our fighter on Deadpulse's side, he's already armored up with flame armor, which I think it was like -1. It's not ideal for endgame gear, but he has something on anyway. I don't think he has a great weapon yet. I think maybe Silver Sword +4, which not bad, but I probably don't want to take that endgame.
Yeah, so here's our divergence. Deadpulse gets Fire 2 in Elf Town, but Pickles and Beer actually finds an Ice 3 hat down at the bottom of Ice Cave.
And the ship.
And the ship. So he doesn't find his grind, but he now does have a better sweeper than Deadpulse does.
And he could decide to go, he's got warp, he could go straight to Ordeal. Well, he doesn't have the crown. I almost forgot about that. That seed, don't want to bonk off the Ordeal's play. We're used to being able to go there early, but I believe he does have to have the crown this morning.
If Pickles and Beer wants to get perfectly lucky, what he would do here is go grab his ship from Provoca, go to Marsh Cave, get the ruby, and then go unlock those 2 incentive locations and skip Volcano altogether. But let's see what he does. No, he's going to go to Volcano.
Probably, I mean, you still want either that black belt grind, still looking at armory items. You know, I don't know if you could make it with his party. Maybe warp with warp. I don't think you'd be taking on carry at level 3, though.
No, that'd be pretty tough. And Deadpulse, with a good find here, finds Crystal in the item shop. That could lead to something good. And it looks like Pickles and Beer is about to find it pretty soon as well.
Level 6 fast, so we do have fast on both Red Mage and Black Mage this morning, right? It was slot 1.
Yes, both mages will be able to learn that post-promotion.
Find some... Go ahead.
Deadpulse going to Volcano here, which is going to be tough, right? It might just be a dive to the incentive and warp out. We'll see.
Gold bracelets there, but they were about 30, I think 37 grand, so without a fair amount of extra cash, you're not going to be armoring up too many characters with that this morning. Adam Rupp pointing out in chat the Ice 3 hat.
Yeah, that's the best item either of the players have right now. And it could mean the difference of an entire run here. If you find a grind tile here that's weak to ice, Pickles and Beer might be able to take it, and Deadpulse would be quite a ways away from hitting the levels he needs.
We have seen eyes before in the armory on trap tile. At least I believe on one of the games I commentated. We'll see if it didn't look like we had any good trap tiles so far. Xcal though, you're as with your fighter, you're liking to see that. With the black belt, not so much.
That's very good. One of the things that differentiates fighter and black belt parties is the black belt needs to find a grind and the fighter needs to find a weapon. Now that Deadpulse has a weapon that he can take to the endgame, it's possible that he skips a lot of chests going forward.
Yeah, of course that does mean he needs the tail, because I don't think there were any night item. Yeah, we didn't have that as a bonus this morning, so he would need to promote, but definitely has that in mind if Masa doesn't pop up somewhere.
Yeah, and since there's no loose items or anything in this flag set, Deadpulse was that he can find the tail if he's looking for it. Worst place it could be is loose in the top of Sky, but it's not always bad checking those boxes anyways.
We know Floater's going to be in Sky. It seems like it's always in Sky.
Well, not in this flag set, at least.
Well, yeah. Not Floater. I'm thinking loot.
Oh, yeah.
Loot or key. It seems like one of the required items is always there.
I'm pretty sure every race this I've done, it's had loot in Sky.
That was Morning Brain working for me. Yeah, obviously Floater without the northern dock or the desert dock can't be locked behind it. So both players in Volcano. Deadpulse has made his way down. We'll see what the trap tiles in front of the incentive item are, if we have anything dangerous, or if he's able to grab this and potentially either well, it's Nagama, so maybe he can grind up and take out Carry and won't have to warp out.
This is a good fight. Agma can be killed by Bane. It's not a great chance, but it can happen. It would stop as a bad spell. It's got very high accuracy, and it's usually pretty hard to get out of a paralyzed. And that Agma was on the vanilla Agma tile. So if
and Frostwolf's casting heal 3, so we just have a time waster on the second trap tile there.
So if Pickles and Beer can get down to that Agma fight with the Ice 3 hat, he might be able to grind it easily. Pickles running into some trouble in Volcano and having to return to town.
So we see the key out of the Volcano. Let's see, without the Oxial, that doesn't actually unlock any progression, right?
No progression it unlocks. It unlocks a whole bunch of boxes to look for gear and look for grind tiles, which Deadpulse might be able to use, but he still needs that ship to get out of here.
Deadpulse gets the confuse strats off first turn, confuse on Carrie. She is vulnerable to it, but you'll know the math. I'm gonna say it's not that not too great, but it is not bad.
I don't have it on hand, but I can definitely check.
I want to say it's like 1 in 8 or something. It's one of the. She
is 35% chance on carry 1.
Okay, so it's even better than that. Wow.
Yeah, 1 in 3. Very very good.
Okay, so that first turn not it's still it doesn't seem when you have the confused stick that it ever goes off. She does recover from that. She casts the equivalent of Fire 1 on herself, so the damage isn't that great, but keeps her from doing what she hit for 35 damage, so she's not hitting too hard or you got lucky.
Yeah, Deadpulse is getting very lucky here. Yeah, as you can see, usually carry hits for like 4 hits, 200 damage, but...
We saw that on the second hit. He does have the flame armor on his fighter, so he does have a little bit of absorb there, but definitely not the type of absorb we're seeing currently out of the fighter. The fighter is solo, so if you're Deadpulse in Deadpulse's corner, want to see those low rolls for carry. She seems to be punchy this morning.
So Pickles has abandoned Volcano and is now headed towards Marsh and the Adamant turn-in. He did not go north to pick up his ship, though, so his ship is still parked in Provoca.
So Deadpulse on the A and Prey here, not getting any lucky crits. Got some lucky rolls. It's not looking too good. Both holds have failed so far, so that's good. And he does get a crit off, but Carrie's got some health, and then we see the Carrie winning that fight. So Deadpulse is gonna abandon the key and just head on somewhere else.
Yeah, that's so painful. He knows he doesn't need the key until post floater, so he's gonna come back here later. That's a very painful loss.
It is knowledge, but yeah, it feels bad in a final to lose, to lose the grind especially, but to lose any progress whatsoever definitely can put you in a bad frame of mind. But I know these runners are pros; they probably won't get tilted. Pro ring's there for 4K. He does Pickles picks up 2, it looks like. So he's got is it time and death protection?
It's just death protection, but it also, with a +4 pro ring, gives you 12 points of armor, which is, almost all the way to chainmail armor.
I have a question from chat. Can't floater be behind key in the TNT spot?
Not in this specific flag set. That location is not incentivized. So it's just a normal box in the key locked area of the castle.
And same with Corneria Treasury, not incentivized on this particular flag set. Not a bad check if you're still looking for fighter items, but I don't know that we'll see, given how late, Deadpulse might have checked those if he had the key and was able to get out. Maybe do a cheeky Temple of Fiends lock check for the trap tile, but probably won't see those now that we had the death to carry.
Yeah, and in this flag set, the key actually does open one incentivized box. In the Sea Shrine, there is one door that is locked by the Mystic Key for no reason, apparently. And in this flag set, we've put the incentive in Sea Shrine behind that door.
But the dock is off, correct?
Yeah, so we will need the floater first.
Yeah. So we know that nothing other than potentially, I guess, it could be a required item. It could be loot, or it could be the well, it can't be the key, but it could be the loot.
So Deadpulse turns in the crystal he bought at the Crescent Lake shop, turns it in for the herb, and the herb turns into the slab. So again, something that is not necessary right now.
That feels a little bad when you have that that chain that leads to an item that can't be progression.
Pickles and Beer getting the ruby out of Marsh. He has his canal and he has his boat, if he remembers where it's parked.
So at this point, does it have to be either Titans or Sarda? I guess it could be behind Rod and Sages still, right?
Yeah, so we have 2 more incentives to check, Titan and Sarda. If the rod's there, it opens up Earth. If the crown's there, it opens up Fastos and Ordeals. Or it could just be the floater in one of those two locations.
Right. And Pickles doesn't have the knowledge about the key down in Volcano, though, does he?
Nope, not yet.
So we may see him still dive that, or he may kind of decipher what the seed is telling him to do there. So Pickles backtracking, checking what Deadpulse already checked, and now Deadpulse going into ice, checking what Pickles has already checked, so we get the swap here.
Yeah, Pickles and Beer is up 1 Ice Cave, and Deadpulse is up 1 Crystal and Herb check. So I would say Pickles probably has a slight lead, but his party isn't where he needs to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, Pickles needs that good grind tile to get started on his black belt. Unless he wants to do the Red Mage Cat Claw. That was one of his Cat Claw adept on this flag, and Hunter as well. Which I'm not familiar with that one. What is Hunter?
So what Hunter does is it acts like it gives every weapon that character carries half of the abilities that the Excalibur has, which means he does bonus damage versus all enemy creature types.
With any weapon?
With any weapon that character wields, even fists.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't hit elemental weaknesses, but it does hit all the different types of creatures. So like giant or regenerative or wear.
So Coral Sword, all the stuff that should have worked in Vanilla that we've fixed in the Vanilla flag set. Coral Sword hitting sea creatures, regenerative, Weir Sword hitting regenerative creatures, etc. It hits all those for, you said half bonus?
For the full bonus.
Oh, for the full bonus, wow.
Yeah, which I believe in this flag set is 20 points. 20 points of extra damage per hit.
So, I mean, that is a backup strat if he never finds that black belt grind. Not something you would probably want to do, but if you have the Masa, I definitely have taken Chaos out with the Red Mage before. Ice Treasury has a little bit of armor. Nothing too great coming out of Ice so far, other than that. Was it the ship that was there?
He got the ship, and he's now got the Ice 3 hat as well.
Okay. So that is a good sweeper early on. We haven't seen Pickles make too good a use, but there really hasn't been a reason to use it, I guess, yet.
No, if he finds that Agma after he goes to Volcano, it might get some good use. But it looks like he's mostly just running from all the fights. The thief doing its job well.
Deadpulse down to solo fighter again, so hopefully he can run from this fight and doesn't lose another dive here. Pickles and Beer are going to check out the magic, turn in the slab so he doesn't have to come back here later. He has the ruby, so he'll be able to check Titans and won't be able to check Sarda yet, right? Because that's
yes, Sarda is open at the beginning. We do have the early Sarda flag on.
Okay.
So we got 2 checks here.
Do we have airship early, or are we gonna be behind a chain behind a chain? I guess we'll find out soon.
I'm betting Pickles is hoping for the floater here, but the commentary team is probably hoping that he gets crown and rod, so he has the maximum amount of stuff to turn in.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would keep it interesting here. But Deadpulse loses another dive, so he's not getting as lucky going through Ice Cave, or maybe I don't know if he did the hard reset or now he's coming in off a different run. Could be that. So we do see the crown. So we got one of the items we wanted to see.
Okay, chat. Let's hope for the rod in here. So he's forced to do early Earth. Oh, there we go. It's the perfect seed.
It is. What do you go to Earth and check giants, Hall Giants for your black belt and dive the rod, or do you make cheeky ordeals if it's you?
Oh, I'm gonna do proximity plays, whatever I'm closest to. So we're gonna go in. We're gonna full clear Earth right now. check all the trap tiles. If I'm Pickles and Beer and I have the black belt, I'm going to check all the trap tiles and clear this dungeon.
And it looks like that is in fact what he is going to do. First thing he's going to do is check those trap tiles. Deadpulse does make it out with the ship this time, so I'm sure he's happy about that. Doesn't have to dive ice again.
So Pickles here finding actually a decent trap tile, the Zombie D. We know the Zombie D does not know any spells, so it's a fairly safe grind, assuming he doesn't crit your black belt. This is definitely a reset though. Check the other trap.
Yeah, question in chat, is this game 2 who won game 1? Yes, this is the final game. If Pickles and Beer takes this home, he will be the SpeedGaming Final Fantasy champion. If you're hoping for game 3, then you would be rooting for Deadpulse this morning. Deadpulse going up, going to res his party, get his ship going. Meanwhile, Pickles checking out some of these other chests. Sees a blue dragon. I don't know if you're, you go for Bane strats on... It looks like he is going for Bane strats on the blue dragon.
This has the possibility of being a good grind just because blue dragons just give out so many experience points. But they're going to be very dangerous. They're going to be very, very dangerous. Like, he can actually barely damage it. But it looks to have fairly low hit points.
Yep,
so if you can dodge the squints here, you can take the black belt up to quite a high level.
It looks like he is going to make a few attempts at it. Squint so far not taking anyone out.
It looks to be about 300 hit points, which is very easy.
Which Squint is death, right?
It might be time elemental.
Oh, time. So he would need a ribbon for that.
Although if it is death, that makes sense why he keeps resisting it.
Either way, if he gets that black belt high enough in levels, it will be, he'll have ribbon equivalent anyway. What is that, like level 30, is it 38?
It depends on which spell the enemies are casting, but it gets up pretty quick for the black belt.
So Pickles looks like he's gonna save, looks like he warped out, save those couple dragons, or did he reset out, chat? I missed that. Looks like,
yeah,
he warped out.
Warped out to save the dead red mage, and save what progress he's made.
Good call there. You don't want to lose grind when you're only, 10 seconds walking distance from the start. Deadpulse gonna find his rod and crown and might be joining Pickles and Earth here shortly. Meanwhile, Pickles has got a few fights in already.
Okay, we have confirmation from chat that Squint is Death Elemental, which is why this grind has been so easy so far.
Those pro cape purchases on Pickle's side could have made a big difference. I don't think Deadpulse made that same check and purchase, although I could have missed it. It's sometimes you just so quick you miss it.
No, I don't believe he did, but he's also less likely to look for a grind.
Okay, so Adam clarifying pro cape doesn't give death protection, only pro ring does. I do now that you said that, it does make sense because you have that combo. One was time, one is death.
This is interesting. Deadpulse not doing the proximity play of doing Earth first, but doing the sort of the easiness play of doing the Astos check first. It's going to be rewarded with a shirt.
Now, given that he's kind of bonked out of 2 dungeons, do you think this might be a gamble play?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get the floater as quick as possible. So it takes less time to do Astos and then double back to Earth, which I hope he's doing now. No, he's going to skip Earth altogether and go to Ordeals. So
they got that incentive item, the bonk incentive item there, that was one of the shirts. Either way, it was a Lit 2 shirt. They both chose clothing this morning, so just a reminder for anyone just joining us. Both runners got to pick an incentive item. One runner, Pickles and Beer, picked black shirt, and Deadpulse picked white shirt. Deadpulse going for Ordeal, so he's going full gamble here. Again, good for commentators because it allows for that divergence. Meanwhile, Pickle's still doing that grind, getting lucky still on those squints because his black belt looks like he can survive about 2 hits from that Ice Dragon if he decides to hit, and of course the squints still always have a chance until he's... Well, they always have a chance with 3 and 256, but we're not hoping for that ever.
Yeah, it's pretty rare you're hoping that your opponent casts spells in combat. But here we are. If I was Pickles and Beer, I would try and save here. Right? Do 3 fights and save. It's just so risky.
Yeah, for as close it is, but you know, he's been lucky so far. He got a miss there. Just gotta go for it, I guess. Get that black belt as levels, and I know we had some cabins early, like from 200. I don't know. I'm assuming they both have their all their save items. Deadpulse finds the wizard mummy tile
And the floater.
and the floater.
He gets a ruse stick, which is perfect for the fighter party, and the floater. So he'll be in the air shortly. And now with ruse stick and Xcal, he's got nearly everything he needs. Maybe all he needs is a ribbon to be perfectly outfitted.
So we know he's gonna be getting that airship probably straight away. I can't imagine you go anywhere else but straight to turn that in. Where after that, do you check? Do you do some chest checks maybe in the Dragon Isles? Where do you go if you're Deadpulse?
Well, we have the bottle, and we have the slab already translated, so that's 2 very easy checks. And then I would probably do Earth Cave after that, seeing as it's such an easy dungeon. And then Deadpulse would have to go back to Volcano.
Deadpulse, of course, does have the knowledge that the key is there. Probably, I mean, he still doesn't have too much. He's in slightly better position than he was the first time he went down. I think he's got a few more levels, but equipment-wise, he really, he's only gained, I think, two or three levels since he made that first carry bonk.
Yeah, if he can find the tail, equip that Xcal, equip the dragon armor that I believe he has, it could be a very easy carry fight. But he's probably going to have to go beat the volcano before he goes to Sea Shrine. And there's the tail. Good for Deadpulse.
Deadpulse having all the luck. Of course, that's not entire. I mean, luck is part of it, but he did choose to make these gambles, and they, you know, sometimes they pay off. So we are seeing that floater was a big find for him. Yeah, of course, Pickle's gonna have a high-level black belt here before too long, so it's still gonna be close either way. That black belt's gonna burn through a lot of this stuff in a hurry. Of course, Deadpulse now can promote and have that Xcal, so we're looking at a good race here.
Yeah, so Pickle's level 24, going to go save his progress, probably continue. I'm betting he goes to level 32. We have access to fast and we have access to temper, so we won't need a fully powered black belt to beat this Sita. I wouldn't think. Just get him up halfway to power.
Deadpulse now is able to equip that Xcal, does promote, has decent armor, has pro ring, dragon armor, really ribbon's about the only thing you'd be looking for your fighter, and some levels. You know, hey, you could do, I guess, sub 20 chaos, but I would want to have at least the 6 hits.
Do you remember what was the blursing on that Xcal?
It looks like Xcal was neutral.
Xcal was neutral, so what is that? You need level 29 for 5 hits on the Xcal. Xcal neutral, I believe. So I don't think he's going that high, so it might be an early, like an early level dive. Might be the best. Never mind. The Massa +2.
Well, there you have an even better fighter swinging weapon. Do you try and get some levels on your mages, or do you just go full fighter at this point and hope for, you got a ruse stick already, so I wouldn't be banking on a temper item or a fast item, but I guess it could still be in the pool.
No, for Deadpulse, this just looks like get the full party up to somewhere in the early 20s, and you should be able to clear Topher pretty easily.
And is he just going, at this point, straight down, maybe some greed checks?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he even opens a single box here. He's just going to go kill Lich and then pick up the incentive item in Crescent Lake.
Now, Deadpulse does know about those Agamas, so do you think he'll go back to Volcano, grind some Agamas out while he's down there, and then hit carry, or do you just keep on with what you've unlocked with Floater?
Well, since his party level is so low right now, and we're so late into this race, like even a fighter grind doesn't seem out of the question. So if I was playing in Deadpulse's seat right now, after beating Earth, you head to Crescent Lake, and Crescent Lake is right near Volcano, so you might as well do the proximity play of Volcano to pick up your key. It makes a lot of sense to go to maybe high teens, early 20s on the Agma. And then you don't have to worry about ever fighting ever again. You can run from all the rest of the encounters for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and you're feeling pretty confident with the Masa. I would still want at least one ribbon for my fighter. I would be paranoid about the death magic coming out on one of the fiends. Of course, it is a short toe for tonight, so if we do get something that happens, we're not losing 20 minutes from diving, or 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. It's a quick reset with short Topher, so the Topher's not quite the great equalizer tonight. Pickle's still getting those black belt levels, it looks like, up to level 27.
Yeah, so I actually believe that I saw Deadpulse buy Wall on his Red Mage earlier. So he might just skip looking for Ribbon altogether and hope to get Walls off on his fighters.
Oh, I didn't catch that. So yeah, that is free. Well, one-time Ribbon, assuming the wall beats whatever the spell is out. Black Belt already one-shotting those zombie dragons, no problem. How high? I mean, we're already 29 with the Black Belt. Do you think he's going just full-on 40s, or do you think he's going to stop soon?
No, he's going to stop at 32. You just don't have time in a flag set like this to go all the way up. So instead of going to 10 hits, we're going to go up to 8 hits at level 32, would be my guess.
Yeah, and I think we're already approaching the best time, which I forget the runner posted, but I want to say it was around the 37-minute mark. So if you can imagine, with this flag set, that was our best tournament time, or brackets time. Either way, a lot of these seeds are with short Topher sub-hour. A lot of them are even sub 45 minutes. So as the runner, you're looking at that timer thinking, 10 minutes from now, or I could see a dot done even now if I made the wrong choice. Who knows?
Yeah, depending on the party the seed gives you, and depending on what kind of magic the seed gives you, these can be very fast. I know last night, I believe it was, and both these players, like two of the best players to play the game, finished their race in like an hour 5, just because Topher was so hard. They both spent about 20 minutes in Topher.
Oh wow, that's with short Topher, that must have been a really nasty fiend.
Yeah, they had I believe the Thief was their only melee. They both tried to defeat Topher with the lowest amount of levels possible. It was very difficult.
Maybe that's in the back of their mind. That is I mean, it's a possibility, but I think I'd still go in low level, and if I see it, maybe bounce instead of, get those levels to come back. It's hard to do it, though, when you're right there and you're, I was one hit away. Well, I'm just gonna do it again. I'll get lucky the next time.
Oh, and here we go. We got Pickles just finishing his grind, and Deadpulse gonna start the Agma grind. And they have less than 300 hit points, it seems, so it's gonna be a very quick grind.
And I will say he's got a katana on the ninja as well.
Yes, katana, ninja, Excal, fighter, Massa, red mage. Although the red mage is currently napping. It actually looks like he might not be taking a grind at all. He's just taking a couple fights as they come.
I like that, because you can always walk and grind Sky, and you probably get close, and maybe you only have to take an extra fight or two. And he's got a lot of game, you know, he's still got C, he's got a dive, he's still got Sky, he still needs loot, and the loot could be anywhere. He also still needs Cube, or an Oxyale, so... well, again, thank you to our tracker. I don't know that offhand. I'm just looking down at what our tracker has posted down there. So I want to thank Wildham again for tracking for us. If you're just joining us, this is the finale potentially. Pickles and Beer is game one. Deadpulse is looking to come and make it go to game 3, but we see Deadpulse take on carry, and Pickles and Beer headed down to take out Lich.
Yeah, so at this point, to sort of assess the seed, Deadpulse is definitely in the lead. He's got quite a bit of progression lead, but Pickles and Beer actually has the levels and gear he needs to beat Topher, where Deadpulse is nowhere near the levels he needs to beat the final dungeon.
Unless you're really, really cheeky and you go in and you do the walk. Well, I mean, he's gonna get some levels. I don't think he's gonna run away from everything here on out. But I'm guessing just from walking, he'll be 18, 19, which you could make the attempt at those levels.
Yeah, I've done level 19 Tophers on flag sets like this and similar, but I don't think I've done a level 12.
No. I don't think I've ever even gotten to Topher at level 12. I'm just, I'm not that quick, for one. That's why I'm talking and these guys are racing.
Okay, so this is actually a big find for Deadpulse. The black shirt actually turned out to be the saber shirt, which is incredibly powerful on any melee class. You put that on
and
the fighter,
a harm 4 gauntlet. So he's got with that harm seed on. He's got both temper and a basic equivalent of like a mini nuke almost.
But the problem with that, no white mage to wield the harm stick.
Oh, is it locked behind?
Yes, it's only a white mage buff.
Okay, so... I thought if it was on an item that it was usable, but apparently it's only the magic then.
It's a buff specifically for white mage. The white mage is probably the weakest of all the mages, so we gave her a little bit of a bump.
So if the white mage is using the item, then the item becomes the equivalent of their harm, then?
Yeah, when white mage uses a harm in this flag set, it acts like a mini nuke or a mini fig.
Okay. Deadpulse making his way down to see what's in the waterfall, see what the robot has for us. I'm guessing it's probably, I mean, it has to be progression of some point. It's either gotta be Oxyale or Cube, I would think. Unless I'm missing one of the checks. So there's still the TFC item, which could be Cube or Loot. So I think it does have to be progression here, right?
Yes, this has to be either the Oxyale or the Cube. And then whichever dungeon he opens, that dungeon will have the other item, and then the final dungeon will have the loot in it. So Deadpulse is hoping that he doesn't have to clear Sky.
So he's hoping for Oxyale at this point, because if it's Cube, then...
No, he wants Cube.
Oh,
I guess no matter what, he's going to have to clear Sky. So it does not matter.
Okay. Finds a rub stick. I don't think we'll be using that. And it is the Cube, so that is vanilla, isn't it?
That is vanilla Cube.
So we know it has to be, at this point, Oxyale in Sky, and then TFC will have our loot.
That's right. Deadpulse is now in no mode.
Once again, these flags proving that Sky is the great equalizer, because Sky is, do you go top down, do you go quantity, do you, what was your idea when you're going Sky as far as checking chest?
I always do proximity. I just clear the floors as they come. First floor, second floor, third floor. And it was always
so
on the third floor.
You're a safety player then.
Yeah, it was always on the third floor, and I always felt bad.
Most runners seem to be doing the quantity checks from what I've seen, the races I've watched. I haven't seen anyone do top down. That's like a very cheeky play there. You do have warp, so I mean you can warp from, saves you a little bit of time, but chat pointing out that saber gear very valuable when you have a fighter or black belt, assuming Pickles finds that as well. Free temper cast, and it's more than temper, right? Because saber is, does it add accuracy as well?
Yeah, temper adds 12 points of damage to every swing, whereas saber adds 16 points and gives you a boost in accuracy. Now, accuracy in this game, not really useful at high levels, but at low levels, it can be useful.
I think that's just a loose eye as he's walking there in Sky, so he's got a couple more levels on his fighter, still wants to see a couple more. Currently, only black wizard up for Deadpulse. Pickles is making his way to find that floater, I would imagine. Or he did find the floater, he's making his way to turn it in. So Pickles in the air at around the 44-minute mark, and I didn't check. We'll check to see if our trackers notes when, how much behind floater-wise was Deadpulse, or Pickles over Deadpulse.
Deadpulse making the safe play here, clearing out everything on floor 1, even the vanilla Bane chest, which takes so much time to check.
So you're right on the safety thing as well, as far as what his strats are. Not going to skip any until he finds that key item, then he probably will be done. Go straight up. At his levels, you're not hoping to see our friendly robot chicken but for chat, I always say, you know, we want to see it just to see it. I'm sure Deadpulse doesn't want to see it, but it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Oh, and Deadpulse now down to solo fighter in Sky. Which, if he can finish and clear this out, get a couple fights under his belt, this could be the difference in the run. Get the fighter up to level 24 here on some solo fights, and the rest of the siege should be very easy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's that lack of ribbon now. I mean, you're really hoping you don't run across some death magic, or you find a ribbon in one of these chests. I would be a little bit concerned that, you know, I was gonna run into either death magic or a high, like Tia putting out the high elemental magics there, but. No, he does find the Oxyale, so yeah. Maybe he just goes straight up at this point, does walk and grind still, goes for Tia, I don't know. I would want a few more levels or a ribbon.
Yes, that's very interesting. After Deadpulse's party dies, he skips the safe play and goes for the high payoff play, going straight to the last chest in the game. That would have been the last chest I would have checked if I was playing this seed.
Yeah, and it gets thundered by the Wiz Vampires, but does get out of there, which is good. Making his way on the Skyway. We see a single fighter with stun, so he might be here a while. Does wake up, takes it out. On his way to Tia.
I wonder, do you try and find some fights here? Get a grind in? Nope. It's going straight for Ruse Stick and Saber Shirt.
Yeah, I think I would go straight for Tia as well, because what if you get the levels and then you, for some reason, you wipe to Tia? That would feel horrible. If he gets out of here, you know, it looks like Tia's gonna give him a fight with that fast going off, and had the stun and sleep. He resists the sleep. Still tempering up, and he's getting the evade stacks, and that's a very, very good strat with the fast going out from Tia. Wing and hits for 313. Tia not having too high of absorb or the Massa putting in some crits. Doing decent damage. Tia already down, so Deadpulse not having too much problem there. Did play it smart with the white stick. They're making good use of the evade.
Yeah, he made that look very easy.
Pickles, meanwhile, finds the tail. Do you promote as Pickles, or you just keep on going?
No, I believe that the only thing promotion would give him is a katana on the thief. And, I mean, this thief is probably just going to be dead for most of the rest of the seed.
Do you promote for fast, or you just leave it at this point?
I believe the black mage can learn fast pre-promotion. It was promotion locked for the red mage.
Okay.
So, I mean, depending on levels, his casters might not even have enough levels to cast the fast.
Yeah, because he did the solo grind. His other character's probably, what, like level 10 or 12 or something of that nature?
I don't know, we'll have to check. It might be somewhere up in that area.
And I do not remember what level you get 6 magic at. Is it 18?
I believe it's 18 on the black mage. That might be red mage. I only cast spells in the first 4 levels.
Usually, yeah.
I'm never casting a level 5 or a level 6 spell. There you go. Deadpulse in go mode. All he needs to do is kill Kraken and he can go to the Temple of Fiends.
Making good use of warp, warping back to the first level, and then just walking over, walking down. Deadpulse looking to be in a good position here. Of course, never wanna hold anything out. Short Topher doesn't have the same equalizing power, but you were saying that last night proved to be quite the fight with the Fiends. So be fun to see what our Fiends have in store for us, our Fiendry fights.
Yeah, if we have a very difficult Topher, then Pickles and Beer has the better party for it. But if this is an easy Topher, then Deadpulse is just going to walk right through it.
Deadpulse doing a couple of these, I wouldn't even call them greed checks at this point, I'd call them ribbon checks for the fighter. Not going to check anymore though, just checks the ones that are immediately on his path. Probably, you mentioned earlier he has wall, I think he might have like one cast of it if it was at slot 4. If it's slot 3, he's got a couple. He would have to hope for turn order. It's
slot 3, so what I would do if I was Deadpulse is I would not cast wall at all, aside from maybe on Chaos, but I would just hope that none of the Fiends had anything too bad, and if I wiped, then I would know to cast wall the next time.
Assuming that your mages even survived a Chaos. We haven't seen life, have we?
No, life is for white mages only in the seed, and the seed offered us no white mages.
Okay.
Both life and life 2 are locked out.
Damage Poison doing some work there on Deadpulse's party, but next hit, Massa doing Massa things, he takes Kraken out. Kraken 1 proving to be no problem, 731 damage, takes him out. He's gonna immediately res up his party, and I imagine we'll see a Topher really quick. I think he bought his healing potions already. I think he is ready to go. Question in chat, is it vanilla Toph or compressed? It is a short Topher tonight, so he will walk in. There will be a big grouping of chest, which I would imagine he will still check for ribbon. He'll probably check the chest, unlock the tile, and then save, I would guess, but he might go just straight down.
Nope, he's going straight down. He thinks he has what he needs to beat this seed.
And he might. We'll see.
A gift from Lich, Ink. Much nicer than vanilla Lich.
Having a pretty good amount of absorb there for Lich too. Mass only doing 295 damage. You might have scored no crits there. It looks like it was that. He might have scored 1 crit or no crits there. Second turn doing a bit more. Speed bump is speed bump. Carry 2, gonna cast that Fire 3 spell, not taking anyone out, so everyone's still up. gets 408 in. The ninja doing a little bit of work there with 160 damage first hit. Now he does lose one mage there. His red mage is barely holding on. He is wanting as many characters alive as possible for these fights. Every time someone goes down, that's not what you want to see, but you're gonna press on at this point.
Yeah, that mage is permanently dead unless Deadpulse resets. So that means he has no more access to fast.
Does he have lock at all if we have a evade heavy chaos?
Well, not anymore. And he's not resetting. He's going for it. This is actually quite.
I would go for it, yeah, because if nothing else, you're getting knowledge at this point.
He's getting very lucky with his waking up from being paralyzed.
Yes, he is, and lucky that Kraken is just staying on the script spell action too. I think he only has 2 evade stacks. I might have missed the third one, but he is going for the hits now. Not getting that much damage in. It does take out Kraken, so his solo fighter is on to Tia.
And I really hope that Deadpulse moves his fighter from the second slot here. I've been watching the second slot. The second slot has a lot of crits in it.
Do you move to slot 3 and go for the...
Yeah, this is definitely a slot 3 play.
I still need to learn how to do that.
It's easy. You just hold the A button and hope you're lucky. Although you can watch the seed to try and figure out which slots are lucky. Now see, he got hit with a crit there. And that's a crit that's specifically on slot 2.
That is a nasty hit. You're hoping that Tia continues to miss there. That crit, oof. Was he at full evade stacks when that crit went through?
Yes.
So that was 3 and 256 as well, wasn't it?
It appears to be.
Meanwhile,
is this a sign?
He's at 666 health. Were you gonna say the same thing?
Yeah, I think he's got this one. This might be the lucky run.
Chaos starting with Fire 3, immediately goes to swing. He has 2 evade stacks up. Lightning 2, you want to see that. Just low level elemental. He's at max evade. Crack misses. He's got 2 saber stacks, and now do you swing for it or you go? No, he's going for a third. I hope he swings for it here. Nope, going for 4. He wants to make sure. So the Thunder comes out. Thunder low rolls. And he was smart getting those in, because he only hits for 3 hits and not that much damage for having that many stacks.
Chaos has quite a bit of evade here, but 2 crits going in there for 700.
Chaos, a little bit beefy too. I think probably rolled close to the 150 health there, or maybe not. They're 500 damage. GG Deadpulse.
So that means we are heading into a game 3, which will be starting in about 12 minutes from now. Runners are already getting ready.
So you have to break away and roll that, I would imagine. Or did you already?
Oh, yeah, I've already done that. The
Okay.
racers are already racing on their 15-minute delay.
Alright, perfect. And you didn't let on either. That was some excellent commentating.
What we can do for you is we can pull up the seed, and we can start getting some information on what these racers are gonna have to deal with.
I am behind on doing that, so if you have that pulled up already.
Yeah, I'm just making the seed right now. Just take 1 second.
So while he's doing that, I'll just kind of recap what went down with Game 1. So we are going to immediately go into Game 2. The channel will stay up for this. The runners are just going to go straight into Game 3. Pickles and Beer had won Game 1. Deadpulse right now winning Game 2 with fighter play. What we saw was a little bit of divergence and a little bit of luck, because Deadpulse had bounced out of 2 dungeons. He ended up going, making a play for the floater, found the tail, promoted, had X-Cal, found Masa, swung the Masa, swung the X-Cal, went straight to Chaos, went straight through Topher, short Topher, and didn't bounce. He was solo fighter on Kraken, solo on Tia 2, and made the Chaos play, getting really lucky on Chaos 2 with some low rolls on Thunder. Chaos only hitting one hit when he had his 2 evade stacks up. He did get unlucky on Tia with the 3 and 256, but he had enough levels on his fighter. I believe that was around 450 damage. So that could have been a game changer there if he hadn't had done the walking grind in air. So in air, he basically just took the fights as he was going. He really didn't stop for a grind after he decided to do solo fighter. Made it through without a ribbon on solo fighter too, which was he did see one death spell I believe come out, crack from chaos which missed. So he might have had protection from that from pro ring pro cape. I'm not sure on that. But either way, GG to him for game 2. While we're waiting there, I'll put our runner's info in chat. We want to thank our tracker as well, Wildham, for tracking for us.
Okay, so I have the next seed pulled up here, and we can go through what the runners are working with. So the party draft is a red mage with Catclaw Ace and 20 extra MDef, but with the malice of he has Dark already learned in slot 3, which is just kind of annoying. Second is the Black Mage, which starts with plus 200% gold points, gold pieces, already knows Temper at level 1, and has the malice of can't wear a pro ring. We have the Fighter with plus 10 vitality and Thor Master, but with the malice of -1 hit per level, which is really just crippling on a fighter. We have White Mage with plus 10 agility and Wood Adept, with the malice of -10 strength. So that's a pretty decent White Mage. With Wood Adept and plus 10 agility, you can sort of guarantee that your White Mage doesn't die. We have another White Mage and a Black Mage. This is actually kind of painful, the fact that we have a fighter, and our only melee is a fighter with cursed hit percent, which might just be the worst malice you can get on a fighter.
Yeah, that could be potentially, and mage heavy seed. Hopefully we'll see some harm for early to make this a little easier on the runners, or maybe you won't see anything and you want to make it hard for the runners. I'm sure they'll be starting shortly where you see the new game pop up on Pickle's side.
We have about 9 minutes left or so.
Okay, so we do have some time there. And we'll get to look at the draft as it's happening. Seeing those stats as you mentioned already, that I'm sure they look at that fighter, and then that's why you see Pickles literally going through every other character.
He's trying to find the black belt.
Doesn't see it now. Now he's just like looking at that like in disgust.
If I was playing here, my choice would probably be Fighter Rainbow. Just get a good mix of all the mages and you can see which one is best.
I want to see a Catclaw Ace. I want to see someone find it and we kill Chaos with Catclaw. No one has really taken advantage of that. Even when we saw the Catclaw Ace plus Hunter on that red mage, it's just you rarely find it either the weapon shop or loose.
Yeah, maybe if the fighter had it and you didn't find any other weapons, what Catclaw Ace does is it increases the Catclaw's crit rate to be the same as the Vorpals or the Katanas. So it means you basically have an extra Katana in the seed if you got a Catclaw Ace.
Does the damage, it would still be higher than Vorpal, right?
I don't know. I don't know the damage of the Catclaw offhand, but I assume it's probably similar to a Silver Sword or Vorpal.
I am not a team Vorpal by any means. It's the half katana that's rarely. I've had it. I mean, when you have that super high absorb, when you're running like 300% and chaos, just you're doing 1 damage to that crit, it can be the game changer. But in this flag set, I don't think I've seen a Vorpal do any real work.
No, you need much more difficult bosses for the Vorpal to have a role. But I would say I'm a fan of the Vorpal. And if the fighter could wield the katana would be the best weapon in the game. But since the fighter can't, then the Vorpal is. Yeah, so talk of the -1 hit per level in chat. That's gonna cripple the fighter immensely. So if you normally get on a katana your 5th hit at level 24, that means you're gonna have at that point 23 less hit percentage than the fighter would in vanilla. So you're gonna need 12 more levels or so. So your 5th hit's gonna come at level 36, which is just insane. No one's gonna get to level 36.
Yeah, that is not fun to see. And Linkalite giving us the knowledge there, Cat Claw 22. So is that exactly the same as Vorpal vanilla?
Okay, well let's wait for Linkshot to put in the Vorpal in chat, and we can compare them.
I'm sure he will. I'm going off what's in my head. I want to say the Vorpal's pretty low on the strength. I want to say it's like 22 or 26.
Yeah, the Vorpal has the same damage output as the Silver Sword. But that only helps you if you know what the Silver Sword is. 24. Okay, so the Cat Claw is slightly worse on the damage, but slightly better on the attack rating with the Cat Claw Ace.
So we see Pickles does take the party that you suggested that you would take with Fighter Red Mage, Black Mage, White Mage, got the Rainbow. Linkalot says you'll reach the extra hit on Cat Claw sooner, so marginally, it's very unlikely to ever come up since Cat Claw, it's loose, or it can be a vendor item too, right, in these flags?
Yes, it's guaranteed to be in one weapon shop in the game.
Okay, so it is still guaranteed as a weapon shop. So I guess that would be the only advantage you would have. Then you could potentially find it early on, and know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, that's the niche that Cat Claw Ace fills. It's you have a weapon you can use in a shop somewhere. So, guarantees that you don't necessarily have to open boxes.
Do we have our incentive items? I'm assuming we have them picked already for the second or third seed.
It's a replay of match 1. We're going with 2 shirts.
All right, so we got clothing again with our incentive items. Is that just to bonk? Have the bonk incentive items, or are you actually looking for some good magic on those items?
No, I believe people are taking it just to weaken the party overall, to sort of make the seed as low power as possible. They must both feel that they're better in low power seeds.
And they have to pick those before they see the party comp, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, seeing that fighter, that you're not ribbon masa normally if you want to guarantee that fighter seed, but you might not be picking that. Not that they would have the ability to do that anyway, but. Sir Link a lot with the knowledge there. Defense Sword is just an overall upgrade, direct upgrade to the Cat Claw at 30, 35, 5. Of course, the crit rate is what you'd be looking at if you were Cat Claw Ace there. Still, the Defense Sword, depending on what magic it rolled, decent sword. I mean, you're not gonna. You could take it endgame just like the Sun Sword. You're not hoping to take any of those endgame. Definitely not with this seed. I don't even. The Massa on this seed is not going to look too great in the fighter's hands. You might be throwing that on the red mage and be hoping for the X-Cal on the fighter, or just hoping for fast early.
Yeah, the red mage is going to swing the Massa basically as good as the fighter in the seed. And Deadpulse choosing the same party, so going with the safety. There's some other potential parties we could do here, like fighter none red-black, or fighter none black-white. Both players going for full party.
Yeah, I like the option of being able to dam the character off rather than having a guaranteed none that you're never going to do anything with.
Oh, and point out in chat, Thormaster on the fighter, which we didn't touch on. What the Thormaster does is it doubles your damage in combat while swinging the Thor hammer, which could be kind of fun on the fighter, if we ever find it.
Yeah, and they are off, so we're about to get our checks there. Both of them going straight to white magic, finding all of nothing, moving on to red magic.
This is a very good level 1 black magic shot.
It is. That temper there, slow, fire 2. Temper being the key there.
Well, also, last seed, we didn't get a damage sweeper until level 4. Seeing fire 2 at level 1 means the early game's going to go a lot easier.
Yeah, although they did make pretty good use of Bane, at least on the pirate fight, and I think both of them got lucky on Garland, which they won't have to worry about on the seed. Get full wood armor, and got a little bit of armor already with their fighters, so at least they won't be taking a dirt nap from, hopefully, from Garland, but we'll see here shortly. Both of them going to more than likely check both item locations.
Okay, so quick aside here. How do you think wood armor works? Do you just hollow out a log and like slip on the inside? A couple armholes in it?
I assumed it was like it was the one of the, I believe they made it out of paper, right? It was like layers of paper. I assumed it was like that. And the wood is just, referring to cellulose.
Nothing too big in the boxes in Topher, just a little bit of money. Deadpulse with the first Garland kill.
No problem. Looks like out of either side taking Garland out. He does get Bone behind there. I imagine they're both on the same, yeah, they both did the harder, none of them soft resets, so they're both gonna see that. Deadpulse choosing to take it, Pickles choosing to run, so we see our Rod Adamant. Do you do the Adamant check? We saw that last time out of one of the runners. Was that Pickles that did the Adamant, or was it Deadpulse?
Oh, you only do that if you're Chanigan.
Okay. I thought one of our runners did go over there and check it earlier than I would have thought, because they went down and then they went on the canal, but I could be mistaken.
And I like seeing early Rod, because early Rod opens up a higher possibility of not having an early canoe.
Houses slightly below market value, not cheap, not expensive. Pickles getting the bridge boss out of the way. Deadpulse is also headed up that way, so both runners not seeing as much divergence, so that could be good for game 3. We want a really tight game 3. This is, I don't know what our tie rules are, but I believe it's like they have to finish within a second of each other, so I don't think we'll be seeing a game 4.
We can always hope for a game 4, but it's pretty unlikely. Although it's surprising in a game like this that's so random and so long, we do see ties occasionally.
Yeah, it has happened on finales before, I know, in years past. The runners are running for a prize this afternoon now. First place and second place both receive a small cash prize, so they have a little bit extra incentive there. if you're Pickles, it might be money spent on his namesake. I don't want to make any guesses there, but who knows? It's there, and it's definitely generous of whoever put that out there.
So Bicky giving our players the TNT, so we can now go and full clear the dwarfs. We need to make one stop there. And level 1 or level 2 magic is not. There's not really anything here. We have cake. Nothing in white magic.
Is it? Quake can be used. Is it on Tiamat?
On Lich. Lich.
On Lich.
Lich 1
Okay.
and Lich 2 are both weak to cake.
That's right, because he's in the earth, but he's somehow weak to earth, which doesn't really make sense. It's like Pickles and Deadpulse both doing the long walk back to check the adamant, which at this point has to either be canoe or ship, right?
That's right. We're gonna get a boat either way here.
Sees a pro ring -3 and some opal armor that might go on that night later. Or we might sell it for some early money. I think I would probably sell it.
Yeah, we're about to head to Elftown, which has a lot of magic to buy. So it makes sense to sell some armor if you need to buy it.
Do we walk back and check that crystal?
That's really interesting, because our next two checks are Marsh and Crystal. I think it's just so easy to go check the crystal, because the off chance it turns into the herb, then you'd want to check crystal first.
Herb or ship, potentially. I mean, it could be, or it could bonk. I mean, it looks like both runners are going back. So again, doing those safe plays, not going to isolate a check that's, a minute walk.
Yeah, that's another good thought. If this is ship, then you save a lot of time, and it's actually crown. So this is the correct play to save time.
Sees a dark axe, so we have one magic item that has useless magic on it.
The dark axe, which in vanilla is the light axe, is actually very good to swing. It's a decent damage weapon for the fighter early in the game.
Doesn't it already have low hit percent though?
Low hit percent, but decent damage. Right?
I was just thinking with our fighter having that. Maybe you throw it on. Can the red mage use it? I guess if he's not swinging anything else at this point, it does look like Deadpulse does throw it on.
It's better than the small knife.
And then you can you can make use of the improved dark spell.
Okay, so Astos is going to give us our canal here, which is way to leaving the inner sea. If we can find ship in Marsh, we can skip Ice and Volcano and go straight to Earth Cave.
Astos taking a couple fire spells and harm spells to take out, but does finally go down, and Deadpulse will be shortly behind. I think you're slightly ahead of me on stream time there. Actually, Twitch is ahead of my Discord. I'm gonna just watch it.
So Deadpulse gets his canal. Pickles and Beer has maybe a 20-30 second lead here.
Yep, I imagine both runners will go straight down. Marsh upper doesn't seem like a very popular check when you know exactly where the incentive item is in Marsh, and Marsh is the most enemy diverse, so the most chances of something bad coming out early. It tends to be one of the most hated areas for runners.
Yeah, in this flag set specifically, Marsh is pretty easy. There's usually not a lot of nasty stuff down here unless you find something bad on the trap tile.
Yeah, you're not spending as much time either, because it's just basically you're headed straight for the incentive check and not checking too many extra chests. Runs into some scorpions. They can be dangerous early on. Sees that 72 damage roll on one of his mages. Fighter's not taking near as much damage because he's a little bit armored up. Both runners checking that iron staff chest and checking the other two chests. Sees an opal gauntlet, decides to, or I imagine he'll decide to sell that as well.
Oh wow, Water's doing their best Kraken impression, going right after the White Mage.
Interesting.
Yeah, and Cube in Marsh, so not anything that's useful right now. We're gonna have to go and looks like go to the eastern half of the continent, clear some more difficult dungeons.
Do we want to see Crown to Adamant, so we have to walk back yet again? Crown to Adamant to Ruby, and then we get the ship out of ice. Something really nasty for the runners. Just straight floater would be interesting too.
Yeah, there's that possibility. We also have 2 shops we need to check. There could be an item in like a vendor item in one of the 2 remaining towns we haven't checked.
Very true.
But one of them is going to have our ship, it looks like. Okay, level 3 magic in black is Zap, which is a spell you can cast, and that's about... I guess Lock is decent too. But not really what you're looking for.
He does choose to pick that lock up, probably, you know, thinking for late game, maybe Chaos, something to literally lock him down. See Soft Invis at slot 2 and Ruse as well, so he's got a solo cast and then a whole party cast.
Yeah, and that Ruse can be learned by the Knight if we promote. So that is an important thing to remember if you don't find like the Ruse stick in this game or a different Invis item.
And we see Exit is, looked like it was Red Mage learnable as well at slot 2.
No, Exit is White Mage only in this seed, and we do have Ice 3.
Oh, it is, okay.
So, not great spells. We do have Temper, and we do have Exit, so those are the 2 standouts right now.
See some pro rings for sale. He is choosing to hang on to that opal armor, so he might be thinking that he's not going to find either a gold bracelet, opal Cheerio, or something better than it. Or it did look like he, you know, I don't know, that'd be an interesting play. Do you sell the opal armor to buy the pro ring, or do you make the same play there?
Yeah, if in this situation, I would probably sell the opal armor. An opal armor isn't that much better than a gold bracelet.
It's, the gold bracelet is, let's see, doesn't it have better evade too? Doesn't the opal armor have pretty heavy evade penalty?
Yeah, but evade's not really that meaningful of a stat, but the gold bracelet has, what, 10 more absorb?
It was like 42 and...
42 versus 24, so 8 more absorb. If everything rolled vanilla.
And we see some gold plus 2s for 33 grand there at the armor shop in Crescent Lake. So they know where some decent armor is. It is a little bit expensive though.
And no vendor item as well, so our ship is going to be in either Volcano or Ice. So we got a replay of last game.
And both runners going to Volcano, which is, I would say, the safer play, because you have Armory there, and Ice Cave it can be nasty. You never really know. It's a long dive. It can be really bad to lose it. They do have Exit, but no warp.
So we found a Katana plus 4 and no thieves in sight, which is definitely disappointing.
It's money. Choosing to check the surrounding tiles before, or surrounding chests before going to the trap tile, just in case it's something nasty in this seed, which he finds a Grey Worm, which I mean, it can be grindable. It's depends on what it has. It went down to the ice and the harm spell, so not a lot of hit points on it. Looks like he's just gonna exit out, save. Do you take any levels off that, or you just continue to check chests?
No. I just don't think it gives enough experience points to be worth it. My plan right now would be to go grab the incentive box and then exit to leave. We're in no condition to try and beat Gary right now.
Yeah, I didn't know. With it being right there, I didn't know, since it went down early, if you'd just take maybe 5, 6, and then attempt carry, but then, you know, if you lose those levels and the grind, that would be bad. And you, like you said, you have exit, so they have the safe play. It looks like both of them are going to make that safer play, probably hoping to find the ship down here. Or the floater. I mean, you're always hoping for that.
So this is very interesting. This could be the play that changes the game. Pickles and Beer cast exit to leave the armory and then went to save, but realized he didn't have any houses. And that exit charge was his only exit charge. So when he gets to the bottom of this dungeon, he's going to have to either kill Carrie or walk out.
That is very interesting. I didn't catch where Deadpulse bought the house, but that would explain why he had less gold, too.
Yeah. Deadpulse bought houses in Crescent Lake, whereas Pickles and Beer checked the shops and then save warped back to Volcano.
Okay. And find some Ice 2 armor. Is Ice 2 -2? That was... Yeah, I'm assuming he knows the stats. I was gonna ask if that's better than Wood +3. Obviously, he puts it on, so it must be better absorb.
Yeah, it's 30 absorb for the ice negative, or sorry, 28 absorb for the ice -2, and the wood would be 10 absorb. Quite a bit better.
Quite a bit better.
Deadpulse with ship.
Ship and an exit charge. Does he choose to? Yes, he does choose to exit out. Just gonna leave Carrie for end of the game now. Doesn't have to come back here until he's much better prepared to take her on.
And so Deadpulse has ship, has canal, has rod. It looks like before going to ice, he's gonna go to Earth Cave.
That, I mean, you got the Hall Giant, so you can check for a grind, you can check... Potentially, it could still be behind Sages and Crescent Lake, too, so it might be the play you have to make. We don't know at this point. That would be a little bit evil to make it immediately behind Lich, but that is how the flags are set up with no early Sages on.
You know what? He's not even going to early Earth. He's going to early Ordeals.
Oh, with the crown.
Because he has the crown and the canoe.
Also a good play. No warp, so you have to memorize the pillars, but it shouldn't be that many extra steps unless he just last locations every pillar.
You know what? I think it's really smart skipping ice for now, because generally how the randomizer works, it's not going to put the floater easily accessible in the inner sea. I mean, there's a small chance it happens. So you can sort of guess that unless ice is holding the ruby, it's probably got something like the bottle or the slab.
Yeah, and once you open up those other locations, your chances for it being, just keep going down the more the locations that open up. Now we'll see what you're talking about earlier. Pickles not having those exits. Does he walk it back out? Nope, he is walking down to carry. So he is going to make the gamble here. If he does successfully take out Carrie, he will be a fiend ahead.
Yeah, this is going to be tough, though. His spells aren't great. I mean, he has Temper. And he's no Invis 2s. He has Invis 1. If I was Pickles and Beer, I'd be casting Invis 1 on my fighter. And there we go. He's not listening, by the way.
He chose... Oh, there. No, he heard you 15 minutes in the past. Temper going out on... It looked like the red mage going out on the fighter. Okay, so he's still opting for that fighter. Fighter, of course, goes before both Tempers go off. Carry immediately takes the white mage out. Hoping that your fighter is the last one standing and she doesn't decide to back row you.
This is good, though. With enough Tempers, you can kill fiends with anything. Like, I've killed Carrie unarmed, with enough tempers. With an unarmed thief, just temper, 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 punch.
She has got some evade, so it looks like he's just doing some one hits there. The lock, making good use of that lock spell. Hopefully we'll see some more hits go out. Just 2 hits with that low hit. And he is now A and Prey, and makes it. So Pickles and Beer carry ahead.
Yeah, that could have been down to just turn order there. Carrie goes first in that combat. She might, crit him for 300 damage pretty easily.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty happy in Pickles' situation that you make it out of there. He still hasn't saved, or no, okay, he has saved there. Okay, he did 10. I was gonna say it'd be pretty bad if he didn't save immediately, and then something bad happened. But he does throw a 10 out. Gets back, gonna res his party up, and be interested to see where he goes, since he does have that fiend. And do you just make ice at this point? You're feeling lucky, or do you you move on to earth, or do you do like Deadpulse and go down to ordeals?
At this point, there's 3 different locations open to our runners, and it's just a gamble. It's just a pure gamble of which one's going to have the item you want and which one's going to have a dud for now.
Pickles remembering that no matter what, he either has to go back to a ship or take the canoe. Looks like he is headed up to ice.
Yeah, no warp, but we do have exit, which can save some time in ice.
Yeah, and makes it a little bit safer. Then you don't have to, make the trip through the trap tile twice if it's something nasty. Deadpulse doesn't look like he's found anything interesting so far out of ordeals as far as loose items go. Gets a little bit of money, coral sword, rub helmet. So incentive item coming up.
Oh wow, and ordeals is a dud. A confused shirt, just a straight dud.
So, doesn't feel good for Deadpulse. It is knowledge, of course. It may be a location that Pickles never has to go to, so we'll see.
Yeah, the play of Deadpulse going early ordeals last time paid off because we had floater in ordeals, but he makes the same play this time and it's no good.
Yeah, not finding any. I mean, if you would have found like a Masa there or something, you could have at least felt good about that, but there, not anything even good out of the chest, so it definitely feels bad.
And you have to remember, Deadpulse did this to himself. He's the one that chose the white shirt. He could have drafted the Massa. That could have been a Massa in ordeals.
Very true. Sees harm 4 there, picks it up for his white mage. Heal 2 as well, which rarely comes in handy. I think, what is it, slightly better than a potion on all your party.
It's good out of combat. It's good to just spam heal 2 out of combat so that you don't have to waste time doing potions. But other than that, it's not that great. We also see fast at level 5, and it's both red mage and black mage learnable, so we'll have lots of fasts for this endgame.
Which is good, we're gonna need him. With that fighter, if you're just joining us, the fighter has negative hit percent as a curse or malice tonight, and he does have Thormaster, but we haven't, unless that was that the Thor hammer right there?
That was the Thor hammer. This could be a game changer. This might be the best weapon that the fighter could find here.
I was gonna say, hadn't found the Thor hammer, and then I just happened to look over at Pickle's side, so you can call that whatever you want. I'm gonna remind everyone we're watching 15 minutes in the past, but you can call it a blessing if you want.
Also, it's important to note that Heal 3 is a very good spell to cast in combat.
Oh, I didn't even notice the magic on it. It had Heal 3 on it.
Yeah, so if you get in a situation where you gotta max evade up your fighter and cast Heal 3 in between swinging the hammer, that's definitely an endgame plan. So
the only way I think this could have turned out better for Pickles is A, if he gets the floater here, which is the herb, which is still not bad. Or I was gonna say if that would have been the eye tile there.
We'll see what the herb turns into.
Exit. Yep, gonna turn in that herb, exits out. Definitely Ice Cave feeling better than Ordeals with that Thor hammer. And then Deadpulse going into Earth, so we'll see if progression's locked behind Lich tonight or if it's locked behind Herb. Flame +4, that's not terrible. You're definitely gonna equip that over the light axe.
Yeah, I would call it good. I don't think I'd want to take out the final dungeon of the game, Temple of Fiends, with Flame Sword +4, but everything up until that point is good. Yeah, and chat pointing out, very good against Lich.
Now, I mean, you don't want to ever say anything. He's got ways to make it to Lich, and still fairly low level for. I mean, not terribly low, not as low as Pickles was taking on carry, but you never know what can come out of these seeds. So.
Okay, and Pickles and Beer getting the key from the herb. So, Ice Cave not required early, but it will be a required dungeon that Deadpulse will have to beat eventually.
Also enables him to check some of these checks that you might not normally do. Be interested to see. They've already done Asto, so I doubt they'll go back and check those trap tiles. But that could be a game changer too if you found a grind that was key locked.
It actually looks like that's what Pickles and Beer is going to do. He's going to check the Dwarf Armory and maybe go down and check Astos as well.
You're here. It's a quick check. I would have done this check myself, but I'm more of a gamble because I'm bonking into everything and misinputting. So gambling is the only way I could ever win my races, but not so much with these runners. Both these runners very skilled. We've watched some very good games. If you're just joining us, or just to recap, this is the final game, barring a tie. These runners are racing in the SpeedGaming live tournament, and this is the final game of the tournament. This is game 3. Both of the runners with a win under their belt. Pickles picking up that fast spell. I'm sure he's happy to see that.
Yeah, so I believe the sages here have to have the floater. We've already done all of our fetch quests, and there's nothing else to open up, unless it's oh, actually, there is one more fetch quest, the Ruby. Could send Deadpulse on another adventure.
And we saw a life spell there, I believe, on Deadpulse's side.
Yes, Life 2, which is learnable by the White Mage and the Red Wizard after promotion.
And you were correct. We see our floater. So it was Lich locked floater. Early sages were not on, so the runners could not have gone here any earlier than what Deadpulse just, well, aside from the ordeals bonk, but Lich required to get in the air, and Deadpulse will be in the air at the 26:54 mark.
Pickles and Beer here not doing ordeals first, which if he gets lucky, he might just be able to skip ordeals entirely.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility, unless, Loot ends up being skylocked, in Sky tonight, and they last location that. We know it's not the key. They found the key already, or Pickles found the key anyway. Deadpulse has yet to get that out of ice. Deadpulse going to more than likely check these floater locked. He's found the slab, translate the slab. I imagine he'll be headed there next. Be funny if it were Bottle and then Bottle turned into Bonk.
Okay, so this is interesting on Deadpulse's side. Deadpulse finds the wood shield and wood helmet, so he now unlocks the wood adept on the White Mage. So the White Mage now has an extra 120 evasion, which is exactly halfway to being evade capped.
That is a smart play by Deadpulse, remembering that set wood bonus that the White Mage had. Pickles sees that giant +4 sword. He did not find the flame sword, I don't think.
No, the flame sword is in the chest behind the vampire. The vampire was guarding it, so that no one could use it against Lich.
So he will more than likely find that. Yep, there, immediately finds it. So that giant sword comes off, flame sword goes on, giant sword just gonna be sitting there. Meanwhile, Deadpulse headed to the Lufa Lufa, or what is it? I forget exactly what they say if you don't have it translated.
Deadpulse getting his Oxyel here, which is required to beat the game, but he actually needs the key before he can fully clear the Sea Shrine.
That would be another interesting possibility. What if he doesn't have to go... Well, he has to go ice to get the key, because we need the key to get in the door. But do you go and do you check that and just leave that location? Because it could be a bonk in TFC. More than likely it's not, but...
Sometimes that does happen, like if you have to go to Waterfall without the key. But I'm sure he's going to exhaust all possibilities before going to the Onrak continent.
Both Fred and Chrono reminding me in chat it is Lupa. Not Lufa. Lufa is something you use in the shower. Deadpulse finding that ruby, immediately going, checking the armory. Could not get in without the ruby, even with the airship, but has that ruby, gets in. What does he find? He finds the tail, so not a bad item. He's got, can promote, it's quick promotion, unlocks, he's still carrying around that opal armor, I believe, so I imagine he will do that here.
Yeah, it unlocks opal armor, it unlocks the ability of the fighter to learn spells eventually, which I think the only spell he'd want to learn was Ruse, but that's a decent one to know.
That was level 2, wasn't it?
Level 3.
Oh, level 3, so he would have to gain, how many levels on the knight?
Level 15, 17, 19, and 21 for charges.
Okay. So he doesn't even have the levels yet to use it, but I imagine he will have those levels and more before he goes into Temple of Fiends. Both runners not finding any good grinds yet, have just been kind of taking the fights that they can take. Pickles picking up his Life 2 spell. Deadpulse about ready to pick up his key.
It'll be interesting to see how these players handle trying to figure out what they need for the end game. Like, it's possible that we need a grind here just because our fighter is so weak, but they might just go in low level.
Yeah, we don't have... I mean, if you found, like, a nuke item or something, I could definitely see that. We get, like, a nuke stick or something come out, and you go all in. So far, I think Harm 4 is the best spell they have as far as damaging spells.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nuke or Fade yet, so yes, it is. And Deadpulse finding the Thor Hammer, so I'm betting he goes and promotes now.
That is interesting, Deadpulse choosing to check all these chests. I would guess he was looking for the Masa, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of things he needs. Ribbon, Masa, Ruse Stick, maybe.
I guess he didn't feel like he was in too much danger in Ice Cave with that exit spell, so... Pickles, meanwhile, finds the floater, turns the floater in, gonna make some of these same checks we just saw Deadpulse make, get them out of the way quickly. Really, these runners aren't too far apart. One of the key things that Pickles has that Deadpulse doesn't, which he's about ready to get. Deadpulse, this time, is just all time he's losing, having to re-dive down here to kill Carrie. Pickles got very, very lucky early on and took Carrie out when he probably really shouldn't have. Do you check some of these out-of-the-way checks in Volcano, either for a trap tile, or do you... It doesn't look like he was, but if it were you, what do you have?
Deadpulse already did, but he did it 25 minutes ago.
Oh, did he check all the side stuff when he lost or when he exited out?
Yeah, I believe so. He checked all the trap tiles and opened some boxes, didn't find much, and then exited out.
I didn't see him go all the way to the right, but I will take your word for it. Definitely, it's easy to miss stuff like that.
So, question in chat: does Thormaster let you equip the Thor hammer pre-promotion? It actually does on the newer version of the randomizer, but this tournament has been running for a couple months now, so we're still on the old version where you need motion to equip the Thor hammer. We had the option to update it to the new version of the randomizer, but the runners wanted to keep it on the old version so that everything stayed consistent through the tournament.
Yeah, you don't want to be beta testing anything. Although I think the flags or the changes have all been extremely stable. Shoutouts to all the dev team for everything they've implemented. Some of those item set bonus flags and just some of the flags they've come up with have been, just keep everything interesting. Year after year after year is amazing. Meanwhile, we see a very dead carry. Our fighter I believe he was temper stacked up and hit that carry for almost 1,000 damage. So Deadpulse making his way out of Volcano is now pretty well even with Pickles. Maybe a slightly ahead if Pickles decides to dive ordeals.
Yeah, that's the story of this race so far. Deadpulse doing one unnecessary check, whereas Pickles and Beer might try and skip it.
And right now, it does look like he is in fact trying to skip it. At this point, it's just gonna depend where the loot's at. If we find that loot, then we're just lacking, Chime, and then that would mean the bonk item is behind Bottle.
Yeah, if it comes down to you have 2 dungeons left, you have Sky, and you have Ordeals. And the only item you're looking for is the loot, Pickles and Beer might choose to do Ordeals just because it's so much easier than trying to full clear Sky.
Yeah,
but from what I've seen from game 1, where Pickles went Sky first, before any of the other checks, he might just love clearing Sky.
You do need a lot of items still, so Sky might be the play if you're looking for Masa still, or X-Cal, or whatever. You might want that chest density, but, it will be... We can't predict what the runners are going to do, and it will definitely be interesting to watch. Deadpulse about ready to promote here, get his fighter a little bit better equipped. Meanwhile, Pickles about ready to get the waterfall check.
This is great. This whole tournament, the Thor hammer has been the favored item of all the runners, and we'll finally get to see it in the final tier.
And we got a ribbon this time, so that's good.
And Pickles and Beer getting Chime out of Waterfall, so he could go to Sky right now and full clear it.
I think that is where the seed is telling us to go. If it were me, I would, of course, I imagine he will do C before then, but...
Yeah, he'll do C while he's here.
TFC could also still be loot as well, I forgot about that. And that would have put it behind Key. If Sky is Bottle and Bottle is Bonk, that is just a whole lot of checks you don't have to make. C's Fate at level 7.
It's very interesting that Pickles and Beer didn't promote first. He could be swinging his hammer and have better armor on his fighter.
Thank you, Mars Swarm, for the subscription to SpeedGaming. I'm sure SpeedGaming is glad to see that, and we are as well. Being hosted by SpeedGaming 2 tonight. I want to thank them for opening their channel up for us. Our Final Fantasy randomizer, we have our own Discord. You can check us out, and I don't have that link, but I'm sure someone in chat can post that info.
And Bottle could be the loot, or it could be the second dud, the black shirt.
Yeah, you definitely check that Bottle first thing, I would think. before doing anything else. Deadpulse gonna find that bottle soon as well. Deadpulse not checking the magic, so not gonna see Fade at level 7.
Yeah, you get your first level 7 charge on the White Mage at level 20, which I believe both runners will get to eventually on this race, but we're not there yet. So Deadpulse just, I guess, just assuming that he's just never going to use a level 7 charge, no matter how good the spell is.
And there's the info. I didn't see that it was actually in the chat line or in the description line. So for those of you watching on Twitch, you can go to any of the sites there. The Discord is the one on the bottom for Final Fantasy Randomizer, or feel free to follow any of the other SpeedGaming channels for many hours of content. Other randomizers, other games. There's looks like Legend of Zelda. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now, but of course, stay with us because we are in our finale. This is the last game of the Final Fantasy tournament, barring a tie. Which, if you're wanting Game 4, then you want to see that tie. You want to see it close. I was actually looking through the rules to see what the tie rules were. I don't see them here, but if I'm sure you'll know what to do if it comes down to that.
They're not in the rule document, but usually for Final Fantasy Randomizer, if it's within 3 seconds, finishes within 3 seconds, we'll do a retime, and it only counts as a tie if after the retime it's within a second of each other.
Okay, so it still does follow that 1 second, 3 second retime rule.
Yeah, you win by 4 seconds, we'll give it to you.
So hopefully none of the runners are slow on their. I'm sure they won't be on the race time GG getting that in, but we want to see it close either way. If it comes down to a second, I'm sure someone will have no problem going through and retiming it. Meanwhile, we see Pickles on the Kraken fight. Kraken looked like took a character out already. We see dueling Kraken fights here. It'd be interesting to see different strat difference. We see harm spells coming out on Pickles' side, and temper spells with harm spells.
Yeah, this is tough for Pickles. He's swinging the Flame Sword, which just isn't doing anything against Kraken, whereas Deadpulse is swinging the Coral Sword. Strangely not swinging the Thor Hammer. He might have forgotten about that buff.
Possibly, although Kraken would be weak to Coral Sword, wouldn't that get the, doesn't he count as a sea monster?
Yes, but the bonus on Thor Hammer would be bigger than the bonus on Coral Sword.
Okay.
Yeah, and with Pickles and Beers, both Blackcasters going down, he just can't do anything in this fight. This is tough.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that Kraken did Kraken things, making sure those mages went down before the Tempers couldn't even have a chance to go off. Now he's just down to harm and a prayer. He would probably literally like to have a prayer in Fade, being our white magic, but doesn't have the levels for that. Deadpulse finding the vendor item there at the Ruby.
And it's a Brack shirt. That means we have to clear Sky.
Comes down to the last game. Yet again, it usually is Sky with loot. If we were to go through and actually, take every game, it seems like more than a majority have been loot or in Sky.
And at least Deadpulse knows what he has to do here. He has to full clear Sky, he has to get the loot, he has to go to Topher, that's it. That's all he has to do. Nice and straightforward.
Yep, whereas Pickles still doesn't know about ordeals, but may choose to do Sky. About to find out. No, he's gonna find that Brack shirt first.
And Deadpulse here, taking a couple fights. He definitely needs more levels. I wouldn't imagine that, something less than a level 24 fighter is going to be able to beat a Topher.
Not Swing of Flame +4. Still not equipping that Thor hammer.
And maybe he just thinks that the lower accuracy of the Thor hammer is just so much worse for him.
That was kind of what I was thinking why he might have done the Coral Sword, but I don't know the stats on like hit percentages and stuff. And I would just be guessing if I did it.
With second ribbon in Sky. And now I'm waiting for Linkshot to post the Thor hammer stats in chat.
And immediately, like, I loot just straight away. I mean, that could have been almost any better for him as far as chest location there, because you get the ribbon, you get the loot. Still needs those levels, though, and really needs a better weapon for that fighter.
And I'm wondering if Deadpulse is leaving his Black Mage down on purpose, or if he just doesn't have the levels for life yet on the White Mage. No, it looks like he doesn't have the levels yet for life, so that Black Mage is going to be dead for the rest of this dungeon.
I mean, that is some pretty low levels, just both runners with not a lot going on as far as trap tiles, and then, the seed hasn't been generous with too many things as far as weapons go. Flame Sword, they do have the Thor Hammer, we're wanting to see an endgame weapon here, a Defense Sword even at this point.
Ooh, Vorpal -3, that's tough. You get any negatives on the Vorpal and it gets very weak.
And we saw Lockstick there as well, so if all your mages do happen to get downed and you do need that cast a lock, say you're solo down to solo fighter on a cast, you do have that option. Linkshot responding to the call out, posting the 18-15-1 on Thor hammer.
15 accuracy is low. 15 accuracy is what, 35? 35 less accuracy than the Masamune has.
So those would just be doubled, I guess, with the fighter bonus?
Well, the Thor hammer bonuses doubles all the damage you deal with it, so it'd be double the 18 and double the fighter's natural strength bonus as well.
Okay, but the accuracy would still be at 15 then.
Still weak accuracy.
So that could be why the runners are choosing not to equip it despite having that bonus. We're gonna see the Tia fight out of Deadpulse. I think that's like a level 15 or 16 fighter. And we see level 15 or 16 fighter damage with 2 hits for 26 damage. Is he going with Brack strats? He is going with Brack strats. Immediate first turn, throws the Brack shirt hits.
Okay, this is interesting. Deadpulse he does have access to go to the final dungeon of the game right now, but he's nowhere near the equipment or the levels that he needs.
We got our friendly neighborhood robot chicken.
This can be good. This can be the bump that Pickles and Beer needs to get a couple extra levels, but also you could very easily die in this fight.
Yeah, I expect to see nuclear at some point. So far, just Lightning 2, not too dangerous, but it is Warmech. Warmech can do Warmech things. Does Deadpulse check the Topher treasury and just hope? It looks like he's gonna buy some heal potions or something first.
That's nice. Pickles and Beer gets to level 22 on the fighter off of that fight.
That is amazing. That Warmech sighting could be a lucky Warmech. Okay, so Deadpulse checking these treasury chests, hoping for a Masa, hoping for an X-Cal, hoping for anything. Sees a ribbon, so not gonna turn that down.
He's got his defenses covered. He just has no offense right now.
Come on, check Topher treasure chest. You know you want to.
Yeah, he can still check Topher locked. There's some fights there. He can check Northwest Castle locked for some fights to try and get some levels in some boxes. He can go into Topher and check all the Topher chests.
He might be trying to get the levels to get that ruse spell in his fighter.
Yeah, and he's buying ruse. So yeah, he's got his defenses covered. So if we get a repeat of Game 1, where we have like one of the worst Tophers I've ever seen, this could be a very long wait.
Pickles not getting the luck on the Brack shirt. Probably gonna keep with that though, yep. Second turn, still doesn't, so... But the fighter, proving a little bit more competent on his side, got some temper spells, had the levels from the Warmech. Tia does not stand up to that onslaught. So, and our treasury not holding anything on Deadpulse's side other than a negative opal shield, which... not what you want to see when you're looking for a weapon. Pickle's about to promote. It looked like Deadpulse was thinking about going and diving. That is... yeah, that is what he's doing. He is going in. He's going for it.
He's level 17 right now. I don't think I've ever been in Topher this low.
Yeah, I know I haven't. Even with the short Topher, I don't think I've ever even been close to, you know, coming at that low level, but, you know, this is the final game. They're going for the gold, and we are seeing, potentially one of the lowest level finishes if, Deadpulse can make it through.
Yeah, if Deadpulse beats this dungeon easily, he's going to look like an absolute genius. And we're going to be singing his praises for years to come. But if he can't beat this and he has to leave and go pick up more levels and try it again, it's going to look really silly.
I didn't even see how many charges of harm 4 he had. He is choosing to burn through them. I don't know if this... I mean, obviously it's a gamble, but he might be thinking if it's an easy Topher, I have evade stacks, I get my temper stacks up, then I just A and pray and hope for the crits and hope that, you know, Chaos doesn't have Thunder, Swirl, Nuclear. Link shot, putting out the Black Mage got a max roll, 3 and 256 ice, 3 on carry. Well, that makes up for, I believe it was Pickles got 3 and 256. Tia hit for almost 500 damage on last game.
Okay, now Deadpulse to the first real challenge of this dungeon. Crack? Not going to be that big of a deal since we have 3 ribbons. But he's not going to have a
temper cast, but he does have life. For now.
He might only have 1 or 2 charges of life.
For now, I don't know that he will continue to have life with Kraken, but I mean, so far Kraken just trying to death spell us down.
Pickles and Beer coming into Topher, less than 1 full dive behind.
Pickles not even checking. Pickles also showing off one of the fun flags, which we see what Lich's true name is there in chat. if you want to throw it out there. If you have, I think that emote's available. Deadpulse still alive. All, you know, his life caster barely hang on with 44 health. Kraken, he's not getting too lucky on those fighter swings though.
This is tough. This Kraken's got a lot of hit points, but finally goes down.
He is very happy that that white mage survived that.
Yeah, and 2 life, 2 charges, so he's got 1 more. Only 1 more party member can die before it's permanent.
1 more, or if you make it, potentially that Cure 4 charge could come into play too. Carry with a Quad X. Carry down Pickles and Beer. Pickles about ready to hit that Kraken. Pickles having a few more levels may be a difference maker here. That War Mech, we'll have to see. A nuke coming out on for Tia's side. That White Mage is back to Hope and a Prayer.
Oh.
And he gets high rolled on the lightning too.
Yeah, the ribbon wasn't enough to protect the white mage there, and a wipe. That's tough. Yeah, Deadpulse has to leave. Just seeing that Kraken fight and how slow that Kraken fight was, he needs something.
Looks like he's going to check the north west castle treasury and potentially some trap tiles here, hoping for an eye or something.
Okay, Pickles and Beer losing 2 party members. It looks like he does not have life on the Red Wizard. Life 2 was learnable for Red Wizards. He must not have ever gone back to pick it up.
Pickles seeing that same nuke does survive. Red Mage getting fortunate there. 32 health. Hanging on.
This would be
one temper out.
This would be a good time for that Brack shirt. About 6% to hit Tia 2 with the Brack shirt.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try full temper strats here, trying desperately to keep. Well, now you just reset. He's going again though. So Pickles either is like going second time, gonna just make it through, or we're gonna see that same thing that you had commentated on in game 1.
Yes, Deadpulse has 3 ribbons right now. A ribbon on every character aside from the Black Mage.
Yeah, I think that was a crit on the Lightning too. Or not a crit, I think it was a max roll on Lightning too, I could be wrong.
Yeah, the Lightning 2 was a 3 out of 256. I believe the attack power of Lightning 2 is 40, so anything above... Should it be anything above 40 as a crit then?
Oh, it is actually still considered a crit on the spell.
Yes, you can still get crit with damage spells through a ribbon.
That is crazy. That is the 3rd one we've seen in just these 2 games. Deadpulse finds Nye. He has his grind. Now it will come down to, do you get lucky, or do you have to go get levels if you're Pickles? If you're Deadpulse, how long do you take this grind for? You still don't have a good weapon to swing, and you could, you know, it's an eye, but you got all 4 party members alive, so...
Yeah, like, if he had infinite time here, he could take his fighter up to, like, level 36, treat it like a black belt, and get some serious swings in with some of his weapons. But I doubt he has that time. Maybe he's just gonna get, like, level 20, level 22 across the whole party.
Zap hitting the Red Mage. Was that another one? Or were the ribbons solely on the other 2?
I don't think Pickles has as many ribbons as Deadpulse does. Deadpulse made some extra checks for those.
Yeah, that's right, because there was a ribbon that he picked up late in the game. Invis 2 going out. That is, I think, stack 2 maybe. Slow coming out on the fighter, so, but Pickles makes it through.
Yeah, and he has a couple extra life charges as well, since his white mage is a bit higher level.
Temper's going out on the fighter. Gonna see if Tia decides to doesn't back row this time, but takes a chunk out of that fighter. I don't know if do you burn the Cure 4 charge at this point, or you gamble.
No, I'd gamble here. If that black mage goes down and you lose access to one of your fast casters or temper casters, chaos might be impossible to beat.
He's doing much better this time. Got a good temper stat going. The nuke comes out late. It's gonna obviously take out a couple characters. He does lose his life caster though.
Yeah, this is tough. He wins the fight, but no life on the Red Wizard, and life was available to the Red Wizard if he wanted to go back to Crescent Lake and learn.
Brack strats on chaos. Deadpulse taking those fights, but this is slow going when you got 4 characters. He does exit out, decides he's had enough there. I don't know if he's going back or if looks like he is going back. Meanwhile, we have our chaos fight. Fast going out, makes it first. Chaos. Chaos didn't hit as hard as I thought he would.
No, and Pickles and Beer missing the opportunity to have life on his red mage, also missing the opportunity to have ruse on his knight as well.
There's our nuclear.
And this is going to be a short fight, and Pickles isn't going to.
Yeah, it's going to be over pretty quick. More than likely for him, his fighter's already down. Damaged poison, choosing to leave him alive. I'm surprised he hasn't reset there. Okay, there we go. Chaos resets for him. And Pickles just can't. At this point, he's invested too much time. He knows he just has to get lucky.
Yes, looks like it might be a replay of game 1, where it was a very difficult Topher with a very weak party. But Pickles and Beer was able to learn everything that the Fiends did, so he was able to maximize his party throughout every fight. Every party member knew exactly what they're doing on every boss battle, and he was able to just edge out the win over them.
Well, we know Chaos has nuclear and damage poison. If he has swirl in that mix, then you know, it could be nasty for a fighter without. If you can't get that Cure 4 to last, or you know, or at least one other party member, if not 2 other party members. Linkle asking if we're sure the white mage has a ribbon. No. Deadpulse makes it through Kraken. He does lose the 1 life caster, and I don't know, did he have the levels on the red mage or red wizard to cast life?
He has the levels for 1 cast of life 2 now, but I don't think he bought it because he only recently got those levels.
Okay, so he's on same hope and a prayer here. Lost his life caster, lost Cure 4. They do have the heal 3. I wonder if they forgot about that.
Yeah, the heal 3 hammer.
And he has a ruse stick as well, doesn't he?
I think that might have been last game.
Okay, could be.
We in this seed we have access to ruse at level 3 for the knight.
That's right. And I don't. He did go back. Well, someone went back and picked it up, though, right?
Deadpulse does have it. He should have 3 or 4 charges on his knight now.
Oh, that red mage just barely makes it through that lightning round.
We got another reset from Deadpulse here.
Yep, fighter goes down.
Surprised we don't see any Brack shirts attempted here. Like, I've had Tophers before where I had to Brack Kraken 2 and Tia 2 back to back, and that was the only way through the seed. And sometimes you just have to do that.
That is a nasty seed.
And it's about Bracca's about 6% on Tia 2 and Kraken 2. So 6% isn't great, but sometimes it's better than 0%.
Was that like slightly better than 1 in 20? It's like 1 in 19, 1 in 20, somewhere in there.
Something like that.
Nuke coming out from Tiamat, so that's Nuke off the table. I guess that is good. We see it come out, but if that Tia fight's long enough, it might come back around to it. Fire 3, leaving his red mage with 6 health. Lifecaster still up though.
Pickles and Beer has a very good shot here.
Yeah, he still has 1 Cure 4 charge, looks like, as well, if he needs it.
Yeah, so he's got Fast, he's got Temper. I believe he has Invis 1 he can cast. Or, yeah, he might have Invis 1 on the... Oh, he got Invis 2, that's even better. I'd say he's got a pretty good shot of doing this, unless Chaos has something really nasty in his scripts.
We know that his script, you're gonna see a damage spell followed by potentially damage poison, and he first turn immediately knocks the white wizard out, so you're not gonna get a Cure 4 out. He put the white wizard up there, excuse me, on purpose, but there goes Nuclear. If he does another script action, it'll be damage poison.
Yeah, this is tough. Without Ruse on the Knight, everything is dangerous. Spells are dangerous, and punches are dangerous. There's no way you can find yourself in a loop. You're gonna do well here.
Already down to solo fighter again. Now he's just hoping for damage. He's getting some good damage rolls. Damage poison comes out, doesn't do much. He has a shot here. Nuclear low rolls as well. However, that hit did not low roll, and he once again chaos. And that could have gone the other way. If turn order may have been the only thing that mattered there.
Yeah, Chaos is gonna have somewhere between 1,400 and 3,000 hit points in his seed, so he could have been close to death.
Yeah, I will say he had around 900 damage in.
Or he could have been halfway.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, what is it 150 capped on this?
Yeah, it's 70 to 150. For the enemy boss scaling.
Tiamat taking that fighter out again. I think that's a red restart on Deadpulse's side, or I would think. Oh, he's got Lifecaster. Now it is, for sure.
Deadpulse finally pulling out the Brack shirt.
And gets it, but gets it in the worst possible way.
That's fine. All he needs is a 3 out of 256 here.
Yeah, exactly. He's going for it.
This happens, 3 out of 256 times you try this, it works. I wonder if he bought Ruse on the red mages. Yeah, it looks like he has Ruse.
I was gonna say, I don't think you'd be reordering like that unless you had a plan to keep yourself alive at least for a couple of rounds. And of course he leads off with Nuclear, probably followed up by damage poison. Nope, just a hit, but he does miss. There's our damage poison, but it low rolls, and he is still alive. And a little bit of a miss menu there. He tries to use the Vorpal on Chaos, or he shows the Vorpal at Chaos, like, hey, wouldn't you rather be swinging this? There's our Nuclear. He survives that somehow. Going to try to heal back up. I don't think we've seen the either fourth script action or potentially if Cure 4 is in the loop. Let's hope not.
Well, Deadpulse might actually be hoping he sees Cure 4, because it means that Brack might be the only way to kill this chaos.
Well, that's true. With the strats he's currently employing.
Well, 5 Bracks, none of them hit. So switch into Temper strats and see how much damage this Red Wizard can do with the Vorpal. I guess is not a lot.
How many hit? 2 hits, both crits. Swirl, so we see that it's all damage scripts from Chaos, I believe. The background nuclear. He's getting fortunate with, he's choosing to hit when he needs to hit and missing as well, yet allowing him to get his heals back up. Because there's damage poison again. Tries to lock Chaos down for a few more hits. What is the most he could hit him for? Is it 4 hits?
Yeah, I'd assume at this point it'd be 4 hits. It might be 3, depending.
Ooh, 3 hits, 80 damage. I think you go back to Brack strats at this point. I guess he's gonna A and pray, hope that Cass is... Well, and there's the no crit. That's what I expect to see from the Vorpal.
And Pickles and Beer pulling up Chaos as well. This could be a very close race.
Yep, Pickles in a pretty good... I mean, he had this last time and he got turn-ordered and knocked down, but hoping for a little bit better position here. Fighter, of course, outturns everyone, but he gets Invis 2 off this time.
Yeah, Pickles and Beer not changing his strategy at all, just hoping to be a little bit luckier.
So far, he has been. He's out of Invis 2 stacks, gonna Invis up the Fighter, at least allow him to survive the hits from Chaos. Meanwhile, Deadpulse survives that nuclear again. He's hoping again that he doesn't get back-to-back. And he does get back, but again, low roll, he got the heal off, so he's still in the fight on his side. Fighter is Vade capped, I believe, now.
Not he's close, and he's starting to swing for some real damage as well.
And finally, yeah, Deadpulse takes the dirt nap with Swirl. Pickle's looking in a really strong position here.
This could be at 1 or 2 more swings. It could be over.
Locks down Chaos. Fighter choosing to miss half his hits, even with lock. Chaos finally taking that white wizard out. Doesn't first turn him like he did last time. He is 1 damage spell away from losing all his other mages, but he gets another good hit in with the Fighter. Chaos looking like he's closer to the 1800-2000 mark. Nuclear is going to take everyone but his Fighter out. This could be the last hit, and it is. GG. Welcome.
And we're joined by Pickles and Beer in the chat room here. Or maybe we're joined by Pickles.
Maybe some microphone issues. Pickles, either way, I'm assuming that you might have a microphone issue going on. I'm not seeing you light up though, so maybe just worn out from the race. Thank you for joining us here. Congratulations on taking first place. And Deadpulse joining us here as well. Welcome, Deadpulse.
Oh, hi.
So how was that Topher?
You know, it's pretty good. One of the easier ones, I think.
Now, was that Topher difficult, or was the party just that weak?
It was a little of both. The party was weak, and there was just a lot of bad decisions.
Thanks, Pickles. Welcome, Pickles.
Oh, hey, GG Deadpulse.
Oh yeah, GG.
So that final game, the Topher was quite unkind to both of you, but it was made for a very interesting watch. The fighter with the low hit percent, and then you guys both went in just with low levels too, not finding any good grinds. I know Deadpulse, you took that eye grind there at the end, but I'm sure you were thinking, you're gonna see the dot done any minute while you were grinding the eyes.
Well, the fear in this flake set is that your opponent finds the Masamune and you don't. So that's pretty much what I was afraid of.
Yeah, I was too. I flame +4.
So neither of you wanted to swing the Thor hammer in Topher. This was the tournament of the Thor hammer.
Oh yeah, I forgot that I had. Even tried to equip it pre-promotion, then forgot all about it.
I equipped it once and that was good.
You had enough? I believe that.
I think I hit something for like 21 damage with it and I went, okay, settle down.
So game 2 and game 3, we're glad to see a game 3. I'm sure maybe one of you was not as glad to see the game 3, having a race back to back, but it's definitely made for an exciting watch. And then both you guys were in Topher close the same time on the third game. Both of you with hard, difficult fights to get through. Deadpulse, you kind of employed the Brack strats there at the end. I think you got off, 4 or 5?
Yeah, it was 5. It's hard because there were 2 options that were going to happen in that, 3 options that were going to happen in that chaos fight with my solo red mage. Either A, I was going to get turn ordered, and the damage, poison, or the swirl or the nuclear was just going to get through and wreck me, or I was going to get a Brack off, or I was going to get a crit loop. And it's like, which one do I do? So I'm like, all right, I'll start with Brack. Maybe I get lucky. Threw it out 5 times. I could have tried, another, 10 or 15 times, but that wasn't a great percent. So it was pretty much crit loop or die.
Yeah, and you did get very fortunate on your, Chaos choosing to hit there. I think you got 10 or 12 heal 3 hammers off to stay alive as long as you did. Meanwhile, Pickles, your fights, you could have won, I think, 2 or 3 times. You had come pretty close. One of the times with the fighter, I think it was just turn order, where he out-turn ordered you. Were you starting to wonder if you were ever going to get the right RNG?
Yeah, I was. It really was. I knew that it was possible with the right, good turn order on Chaos. Needed some invis. Had I been able to get invis on my fighter, it would have gone a lot better a couple times before that. But I also completely screwed up on my promotion. I intended to do that before going to Onrak, and then again before going to Mirage, and both times by the time I got there, I forgot, and yeah, those ruse charges would have been nice on the night.
Yeah, there's one other spell you missed. You missed that the red wizard could learn life 2. And at level 20, you would have had 1 charge of life 2 on the red wizard going into Topher. And that could have saved multiple of your dives.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice too.
That last fight, you did get the turn order. I'm sure you were hoping for the first time you made it there. Your light wizard didn't get immediately comboed into all your mages being dead. I think one time, one of your dives, I think Chaos took them all out by turn 2 or 3, and you didn't get a chance to get anything up. So just Topher proving to be pretty evil to both of you guys. this afternoon, but you took the tournament home there at the end. Are you already in the Iron Goal, or are you going to take a break? Question for both of you, I guess. Whoever wants to take it first. I guess Deadpulse.
Oh, hi. I don't know. I do have to get going. I've got company coming over in about 15 minutes, and this last race went on about 30 minutes longer than I intended it to. So I apologize, but I'm going to throw out some final thoughts there, if it's all right with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
To answer your question, I don't know. I don't know what's in store for me. I took a little bit of a hiatus, and this was kind of my comeback tournament. See if I still had it, and I'm really proud of how I did. I am disappointed that I did not win, but forcing it to a game 3 and then having just a brutal Temple of Fiends where it was anyone's game, like I wouldn't have the finals end any other way than that. GG Pickles, well deserved. I don't know. I did the Iron Goal last night, but I don't exactly know if I'm going to have a lot of time in the coming weeks to participate in it, but I hope a lot of people do. Looks a lot of fun. Thank you, SGL, for putting this on. Burt Reynolds, of course, you put on one heck of a tournament. And we here at the community really do appreciate the hard work that you put into this.
Thank you.
Who else do I want to give a shout out to? No one. Go away. I'm just kidding. Thanks everybody, and again, GG Pickles. Thanks everyone for watching. But GG. I gotta go. So good luck with Fall League and Iron Goal for anybody out there, and we'll see you later.
Thank you for joining us. Pickles, I think you were about ready to answer that. Well, fortunately, Deadpulse did need to go, so you got the answer. But how about you? You got to feel good about the win, but are you Final Fantasy'd out, or are you ready to move on to the next thing? And
I don't know about Iron Gall. I would like to participate, but we got with Fall League starting this week. That's going to take up a good bit of time, and yeah, I am a little burned out, but there's no rest. So, they got to get practicing on those Fall League flags. But that Iron Gall,
I've got to say,
Iron Gall looks fun. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That I'm pretty sure I'm not speaking out of turn when I say that Pickles and Beer is an underrated name in the Final Fantasy randomizer community. That probably, not a lot of people would have picked you to win this whole tournament, even though you had a second place in the spring tournament and qualified second here. But I don't think that Pickles and Beer is going to be an underrated name anymore.
Well, I'd like to stay that way. Yeah, I'm kind of inconsistent sometimes. That's probably part of the reason why I didn't even make brackets in SGL last year. I just inconsistent. I got to practice flags.
Are you like me, where you just go in and you don't practice the flag, and then you severely regret it?
If I don't practice, yes. But yeah, I mean, I like to think I've gotten a lot more consistent probably over the last 6 months or so since this past spring tournament, and hanging with CC, less than or about a 4-minute loss each time. So it's like, maybe I still got it. Hang in there with the big dogs.
Well, you definitely raced some good races. I didn't get a chance to watch your game 1. I heard that was an interesting one as well. I know game 2 and 3, both interesting to watch. Both you guys did really, really good on, no real major mistakes. I think Deadpulse actually on game 2 had some bonk outs, but really it was fun to watch, fun to commentate. I don't know, Bert, did you have any other questions before final thoughts?
Nope, I think we can wrap this up. This was a really good tournament. I enjoyed this.
Pickles, anything from you as far as before we wrap things up?
Just thanks to SpeedGaming and you, Fiend, Bert, and Modham for the putting on the restream. very much appreciate it.
Well, I don't know if Bert, I know this is closing one thing for you, and then you'll be moving to Iron Goal. I didn't know if you had anything you wanted to say as a closing remark for the tournament that you kind of managed.
Oh yeah, sure. I want to thank Chadbert and Danny and Darkmoon, who did a lot of work behind the scenes helping me out, keeping everything organized. And yeah, if you're interested in Final Fantasy, come to the Discord. We always got something happening. There's always a tournament or a side project or something we're working on. Something fun to play.
Yep, these guys are always doing something fun. You kind of already mentioned some of the people there. Also, just all the people that are involved in like developing the new flag sets, running those. Everyone that keeps everything positive over there at Discord, even with you have all these races, everything going on. There's always something to do. If you enjoyed watching, if you want to get into racing, I'd highly encourage you to go to Discord. I myself have only ran in one game. If you're just interested in Final Fantasy, like talking about it, that's kind of, you can jump in with one of these guys, commentate a game. It won't be long before you're just up here. We could always use more commentators, more trackers, more players. I guess thanks definitely to SpeedGaming for hosting us and the tournament. This was the SGL Final Fantasy tournament. Whoever put out the prize money, thank you to them. And everyone else involved, anyone that wasn't mentioned. Wild Ham for tracking, I think it was already mentioned. And did you want to close out your own tournament there, Bert?
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll be back next year. And good night, everyone.